I'm gonna say 40 years of work has led to this moment. Tom, button pusher, you found a photo album covered in dust, sitting on a bookshelf, a high bookshelf in your house.
So high.
There is a name on that photo album.
It says Ian's book.
It says Ian's book. It's also titled Grandma's House, and it's just photos of time at this guy's grandma's house in Ithaca, New York. We've been trying to figure out who is in, etc. If you've missed any of it, get the previous podcast. But we effectively have a number now. We are about to make contact with the guy and find out how and why a photo album of his was at your house, Tom, in Collingwood, Melbourne, Australia.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been too specific there. I've been too specific.
Guys, no more recap. You've got to call him.
Okay. Let's call him. Now, what is that, Will?
Keyboard's not working.
What a shame. Oh, take my eyes, but not your keyboard.
Well, you need sounds here. There's no sound. Oh, Jesus Christ.
You talk. I'm too nervous.
Hello.
Hello, is that Ian?
Yes, this is Ian here.
Hi, Ian. This is Will speaking. I'm calling from a podcast / radio show called Will and Woody.
Ah, yes. What is all this about? Right.
Yes, Ian. Well, look, it's great to talk to you. First of all, second of all,
hi, Ian. I'm Woody.
This is Woody, and this is Tom.
Hi, Ian.
Will, Tom, and Woody. Good to meet you. Yeah.
Good
to you too.
So, Ian. The last week or so on the podcast, we've been talking about this little photo album called Mini Album, which Tom found in his house on a very high shelf.
Very, very tall shelf next to the fireplace.
Very dusty.
This is down in Collingwood, I'm guessing.
It is.
Yes,
it is.
Yeah.
So why is Collingwood familiar to you, Ian?
Well, because I used to live there and was kicked out because our owner sold the place. So I hope you're enjoying the place.
I am.
Tom-
Well, I'm sorry. I was the purchaser of
Does
the place.
it still have? Are there still rats? Does the ceiling still leak? So many questions.
The ceiling still leaks. I haven't found any rats yet. I've found some
All right,
mice.
well, I can send you a video of just seas of rats after we moved in. It was just the most, almost comforting just to have friends. But yeah.
Oh my God. I didn't know that.
This is a conversation you guys probably should have had before Tom purchased the house. It's a rat nest with a leaking roof.
Ian, if I can bring you back to the book. So we've found this book. Tom found this book. And we've just been wondering the whole time whose it is and how do we get it back to them, because it's got at Grandma's house, Grandma GRAMMA''S, Headwaters.
Yes, Grandma. Yes, that's definitely my grandmother, Elsie. Yes.
Elsie Myers Stainton in
That's
Ithaca,
right.
New York.
He was an absolutely amazing person, just which maybe you can even tell from the photo album. Yeah, just a pioneering woman, a philosopher.
She was an academic, right?
First ever woman to get a degree in philosophy, we believe. We did a little bit of research in
it.
That is exactly right. She's the first woman to get a degree in, one of the earliest in the United States in graduate degree in philosophy from Cornell University.
Oh
the first woman
God.
to Cornell University Press. I mean, she raised my mother and her brother by herself because my grandfather died tragically young. So just an amazing person.
Wow.
Wow.
And wrote an amazing book as well. Like there's this very popular
a
book.
book on publication or something like that?
That's correct. She's
Copywriting.
a published author and much consulted on the relationship between editors and writers, which she sort of was a person to explore that unique relationship and wrote a very popular book on that topic.
Amazing.
Fascinating.
Amazing.
Okay, Ian. So I think we've got your book, which is the first point. So
is
you
this,
should
is
know
this
that.
something you've been looking for, Ian? Is this something that you've been like, I never knew where that went?
I noticed it's been gone and would love to get it back. But I haven't been desperately looking for it. I've just assumed it's been missing somewhere.
Okay. Well,
Wow.
We have
We
it.
have it.
Ian, we have it.
All right, there we go.
Okay. Now, Ian, the next thing you need to know is that when we first found the book, there was a lot of chat around, when you find like an old photo album, how quickly you can impute a sense of evil on like an old weird photo album of children and wild shots. So I just need to clear something up before we give it back. Because Woody thinks that there's evidence. Woody thinks there's evidence in here to suggest that you may have, as a 5-year-old, killed multiple people. Largely the.
So I'm sorry, Ian. I'm sorry.
Largely the tree mulcher. He thinks that the bodies might have been put in the tree. In the tree mulcher.
I mean, I don't know what kind of operation you've got on going on over there, but the show that you run clearly is some sort of ridiculous operation.
No, you sound defensive, Ian. You sound defensive.
But you're wondering if it's cursed. I mean, you got me. It's cursed. I've been trying to get rid of it for years. Yeah, no, it's Will and Woody's. Is that who I'm talking to? Will and Woody's problem now. So
yeah. That's right. That's what I said. Well, I've been careful not to handle it because I thought I'd been cursed.
What is the curse, Ian? Because I assume you had it until you left the photo album in Collingwood.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to speak of it. Not allowed to speak of it.
And then
terrifying.
The funny thing was when we were looking you up, so like we thought we'd found you because we traced you through your grandma on the internet, and then when we found you online, it showed that you were like this specialist in Sanskrit and Persian and like translating ancient languages. And
amazing.
All of a sudden, Woody was like he's a witch. Like there's
definitely not a witch. I do teach Hindi language at the university level. No witchcraft involved. It's very. I mean, teaching and learning language is extremely important. I encourage anyone who's thinking of studying language to go ahead and do that. And yet, no witchcraft involved at all.
So you can write and read Sanskrit, Ian?
Sanskrit isn't my main language, but I have studied Sanskrit, but it is written in the same script as Hindi, yes. So I'm obviously fluent in Hindi. I did my PhD in Hindi language and literature. I've lived in India for quite some time and worked in Hindi literature and poetry. And then this is also my occupation. I'm an academic.
Wow.
So
did you ever find any mystical writings during your time in India?
Mystical writings. Well, India is not the only country full of mystical writings, but there's plenty to learn from. Even I could think connected to what we're talking about now. I'll just give you two lines of poetry from this is 15th century, so by a very important Kabir. I assume that this plays in Australia, so you're going to have many Hindi speakers who will know these lines very well.
Okay.
They go, "Aal kare so aaj kare so ab. Bal mein parlai hoegi, bahuri karega kab." And that just means if there's something you can do like tomorrow, no, just do it now. Do it now, because everything can be lost. Everything can turn to dust in just an instant. So if not now, when would the chance to do it again come? So that's that's 5 centuries old, and I think quite relevant today, especially when you think about a photo album, these memories that are just instants in time from the past, right?
That was found 500 years ago.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Wow. And you're so right. That is so relevant to today. Like, people talk about this mindfulness and doing things now and in the moment. That's extraordinary. That was written 500 years ago, Ian.
Yes. Well, I think it's one of, you've mentioned ancient texts, which isn't my main field, but it's one of the things that interests us in these old texts when we see these connections we can have with these ancient thinkers that resonate today, just like you said.
Wow.
Well, keep in mind, like, the foundation for Buddhism and all that sort of stuff really does sort of come from Tantra, which comes from those ancient tantric texts, which were probably all written in Sanskrit, weren't they, Ian?
Yeah, the tantric texts are written in Sanskrit and related languages and are obviously extremely important, yes.
That's kind of the foundation for all of those religions.
Are we talking about the sex move, sorry?
No, that's just like Western popularization of, that's one part of it. Is like
very good, though. You recognized a word. And
that's exactly what I did, Ian. Thank you for identifying that. That's what I do. That's what I do.
Yes.
Okay, so Ian, let's
Ian's
get
so disappointed by you. You've called him cursed. You've called him a witch, and now you've called him a sex poet.
And the funny thing
He's
is, I
not
love you, Ian. This is it's a weird relationship we've got, but I think you're amazing.
Thank you so much.
But let's get back to the returning of this photo album.
Yeah.
I mean, $500 and it's
up.
yours.
What are you- no,
I'm joking. I'm joking, Ian. We'll get an address off you, mate, and we'll send that to you.
Perfect. All right, that sounds great. Looking forward to getting it back. Right.
Yeah, man. Well, we're happy to give it back as well. I mean,
Yeah.
it's got Ian's book inside it. We're very happy to close a chapter here. Yeah, enjoy, man. Sorry, one final question. This came up a few times. The last photo 22, is a photo of a plane, and it just says the plane. Now, Woody assumed that.
I thought you'd put some sort of hex on your entire family and then you flew by yourself via private jet to Australia. What actually happened?
That would be the plane that I was on, and I was quite young at the time. You can see from the photos in that album, and that would have been I was 6 or 7, I think.
Yeah.
I grew up in London, England, and I moved to the United States. I'm originally English, but I actually flew solo from London to New York unaccompanied to go visit my grandmother for that one trip, and flew back by myself. So I imagine.
So you did fly back by yourself.
Yeah, I think I don't think they let kids do that anymore, but I think the feeling of seeing your grandchild or your son fly off all by himself at 7 years old.
Yeah.
They took that photo, yeah.
Wow. Well, thanks for letting us rummage through your past and speculate, Ian. It's been a lot of fun.
All right.
I'm happy to clear you, by the way, Ian. I've ticked all my boxes,
that's nice
so
for Ian.
you should feel some relief there, Ian.
That's nice, because he really cared what you thought about him. Ian, it's been so nice to meet you. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and good luck. Good luck with your show.
Thank you. And
Appreciate
good luck
it,
with the
mate.
far more important things that you're doing as well, Ian. It all
Yeah.
sounds absolutely fascinating.
Yeah. Lovely to meet you.
Yeah.
What was the translation from that poem again?
That was the one that if it's something you can do tomorrow, no, go ahead and do it today, because we know everything can be destroyed in an instant. It can turn to dust. So it's YOLO, basically. Do it now.
Yeah, nice.
Brilliant. It's
Love that.
So good.
Well, thanks so much, Ian. Appreciate it, man. We'll get the album to you, and it's been a pleasure.
All right. Thanks very much. Take care.
Thanks, Ian.
Bye, Ian.
Bye. Bye. Nice to meet you. Wow.
What an extraordinary dude.
Yeah, well, that was wild.
Fascinating.
Lovely. Very clever guy.
Oh, yeah. He did not suffer fools, did he? Like he just thought I was the biggest moron in the world.
Yeah.
How about when I said because you guys were talking about tantra, and I was like, oh, that's a sex thing. Nice, you dirty boys. And he was like, good one. You've identified a word.
Yes.
I was like,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm talking to two Wills.
Yeah. I had a brother in him.
Yes. Totally.
He was great.
Yeah. And then I weirdly got obsessed with him as well. It's funny how that happens. Like I saw him
because he demoralized you.
yeah, and then I was just like, I needed to impress you, and I'm just so into you now. Bizarre.
All right, well we're back. I suppose we're back. That's the end of the Cursed Photo album.
Cursed Photo
the
album.
Chronicles of the Cursed Photo album. It's over.
Another success.
Wow.
Can I say we've done two things on this podcast, two quests / adventures on this podcast.
Yeah.
You becoming best mates with Tina Arena. You guys now catch up weekly. Tennis on Thursdays, I think, is what.
Yep. Chardonnay and tennis on Thursdays with Tina. Yeah.
You're friends with her. Extraordinary.
Yeah.
We've now found the owner of a Cursed Photo album.
Yep.
Another tick. So, proof's in the pudding, guys.
Doors open.
If you want us to engage in some sort of journey for you, there's a mystery in your life, DM us, Will and Woody, on Instagram. Write us a message. We'll give you a call. We might take the case. I see this as a bit like Sherlock in that way, Will. You know, I think lots of cases will start coming in. We'll take the ones that interest us. Is that what he does?
Yeah.
Nice.
But I'd be Sherlock and you'd be John Watson.
Oh, it goes without saying. Yeah. Alrighty. We'll
see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.